things first, we'll get to Pats and Chiefs in a second. But first, Spurs and Rockets. Austin Rivers to the hoop, denied. Boo! Not by one, but by two defenders.
All right, this was a great game for the NBA last night. Double overtime, amazing comeback, controversial officiating. Harden goes for 50, nobody cares. Russ takes 30 shots, doesn't even score 20. That should never happen ever in basketball. Wild game last night. More.
All right, more from this one. There it is, James Harden driving past Derek White, dunking in traffic.
Best scorer in the league that we've ever seen. Literally the best scorer that we've ever seen in the NBA. Gets any bucket, gets to any place in the floor at any time. James Harden does it again.
And if his shot's not falling, as he showed last night, he can get to the free throw line better than any player I've ever seen.
24 free throws last night.
Pistons Cavs.
24.
20, wow.
Derrick Rose blowing by Matthew Dellavedova, finishing with the nice up and under.
Oh, shout out to Delly. He's still in the league, cashing them checks. Back with the Cavs, should have never left them. That makes me happy. Derrick Rose still being able to do this. That makes me happy.
Derrick Rose used to have the best, quickest first step. I think he's getting that back.
Lakers and Nuggets, your guy, Nick, Alex Caruso, getting way up for the putback slam.
The whole team gets so hyped when he has one of these plays. Caruso, all right, here's a take. I bet Caruso currently has the highest vertical leap of any Laker not named LeBron.
That's high.
The highest, now again, I bet he can jump higher than Dwight at this point.
Right.
As far as inches off the ground, Caruso is a great athlete. He's just a balding white dude, so nobody thinks it, but it's true.
You'll be that guy one day, Nick.
Well, I don't know if I agree with either of those things.
Moving on to a rematch of the AFC title game, also known as the game Nick has had circled on his calendar since birth. Chiefs versus Patriots. Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady. The new best versus the old best. Four-time MVP Tom Brady was asked about the reigning MVP and Patrick Mahomes, and here's what he had to say.
He's pretty spectacular. I think very highly of him and his skill set, and he's a very good player. And the reality is they have a very good team. They have a very good offense. They have very dynamic receivers. You know, one of the best groups in the league. They got one of the best tight ends in the league. They have some great running backs, and Patrick distributes the ball to all of them.
Nick, who do you trust more come Sunday? I almost say it laughing, but Mahomes or Brady?
I don't know how this can be a question in 2019. Patrick Mahomes, by the way, coming off the worst back-to-back games of his career, actually. And he was excellent in his first game back from the knee injury. Has not been as good the last two games. Oddly enough, the first game back when he was excellent, the Chiefs lost. The last two games when he wasn't that great, the Chiefs won, which speaks to potentially the slightly improving defense. But, of course, the answer is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football. Now, he hasn't had the best season, and he's not going to win MVP, and he shouldn't, as of today, receive a single MVP vote. Not only because he got hurt, but because Lamar's been better and Russell's been better, and so I'm not arguing that. But Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback now, and by the way, he was the better quarterback when the two met last year. In that, you're right, Jenna. I have had this game circled and the potential rematch in the playoffs since the moment the Chiefs lost the coin flip in the AFC Championship game. Not when they lost the game, when they lost the coin flip. Because when they lost the coin flip, I'm like, well, damn. Guess we're not going to the Super Bowl this year, boys. But in that AFC Championship game, it was Patrick Mahomes that led 3 separate fourth-quarter comebacks. It was Patrick Mahomes that played the clean game with 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. It was Tom Brady that had 1 touchdown, 2 picks, and should have had a third to end the game, but Dee Ford lined up a few inches offside. So this year, the answer is clearly Patrick Mahomes, and last year, the answer was Patrick Mahomes, even though his team didn't win those games.
Yeah, I think you would think that it would be clear. I don't know that it's just that clear. This is what I know about the New England Patriots at home. They've won 21 straight, including the playoffs, going back to last year. They're really good at home. Yep. This year, that defense has only given up 2 touchdowns with 7 interceptions. So they get after the quarterback. They attack the football. And the last 3 quarterbacks that have played there in New England have only averaged 189 yards passing in the football game. That's how good that defense is on the at home in particular. Sure. And so when you talk about Mahomes, Brady, you certainly have to factor in the defense that they're playing. I have no faith in Kansas City in this new defense that has produced a bunch of turnovers. Tyrann Mathieu has been great. However, I'm not sure that they can do that going on the road, going into Foxborough and winning there. That's a different thing for that football team. I'm not so sure that I would take Mahomes over Brady. In fact, I would take Brady over Mahomes in this matchup.
Because Mahomes has to go against the Patriots defense.
Exactly. It's based on the
gets
defense.
to go against the Chiefs.
That's right.
But, you know, the Patriots' defense hasn't looked as great the last couple of weeks, and the Chiefs' defense has looked better the last couple of weeks. So do you see that evening out a little bit better?
Well, listen, the Patriots' defense, you're right, Jenna. What they've gone from is one of the best defenses ever through the first 2 months of the season to one of the 2 best defenses in football. And what the Chiefs' defense has done is gone from one of the 3 worst defenses in the league to maybe one of the 8 worst defenses in the league. Like, now, last week, this most recent game, they played excellent start to finish against the Oakland Raiders. And the very end of the Charger game, they played well. But overall, I don't think the Chiefs yet can even claim to have an average defense.
They played 2 teams that have been struggling a little bit offensively.
100%. And in the Chargers, a quarterback that's been very turnover prone. And in the Raiders, who all of a sudden, the last 2 weeks, their season just fell apart, losing to the Jets and then no showing against Kansas City. I just don't think the Patriots' defensive personnel matches up well with Kansas City's offensive personnel at all. Why was Houston successful? Speed, speed, speed. Nobody has more speed than the Kansas City Chiefs. Tyreek Hill lit up the Patriots in their first matchup last year. In the second matchup, they said, we're going to take Tyreek Hill away. He only made 1 big play. The Chiefs still scored 31 second-half points. How? Because Sammy Watkins came to play, because they got other people involved. Now, Watkins has basically been a no-show. After week 1 of the year, he was unbelievable. Since then, he's been very mediocre in production. But I don't think you are going to be able to slow down substantially the Chiefs' offense. Now, the Patriots should be able to hold them under 30. My question is, if the Chiefs don't allow a defensive or special team score, how many points can the Patriots score, particularly if Tom Brady has struggled all year when he's pressured? The Chiefs defense last year and this year, when it has struggled, even when it struggled, they still can get to the opposing quarterback. Chris Jones, when he's on the field, that defense creates pressure on the opposing quarterback. Tom Brady, a 49 passer rating this year when pressured. If the Chiefs can get pressure on Brady, how are the Patriots going to be able to score past the teens into at least the mid-20s, which I think they're going to have to be able to win this game?
Yeah, that's the big question. Who are the Patriots going to go to? They don't, of course, have the security blanket in Rob Gronkowski, the guy that you can say he's an instant mismatch on every situation. That means they have to find a way to get the ball to James White out of the backfield, get him to football in the backfield as well, as far as running the football. And Julian Edelman, those are their only 2 weapons. But on the other side, when you think about it for Kansas City, and this is what has given the Patriots problem. 3 fast receivers. We saw it last week, Fuller, Still, as well as Hopkins. 3 guys that can run. The Chiefs don't have 3 guys that can run. They have guys that have done it well in the past, Sammy Watkins, but they depend on Travis Kelce as well as Tyreek Hill. That's it. And the other guys have not produced. 3 targets last week for Sammy Watkins, 0 catches. They have to have another guy. And because of that, that's why I think the Patriots can slow them down.
The other guy that I wonder if it's going to be is rookie McCole Hardman, the guy that they drafted when they thought Tyreek Hill might be out of football. And McCole Hardman has had some really big games. This past week, he and Sammy Watkins were essential no-shows in that football game. You mentioned how you stopped the Patriots. Just tell me this quickly here, because I know we have to move on. Why would every team not do what Houston did? Because Houston's defense, by the way, not any better than Kansas City's. Double Edelman, put a corner on Jay.